He wants to get a couple of candles, get the wax, and drip it onto his balls. Like, I gotta admit, I was kind of like, huh. Even when I heard this story, I was like, oh, that's not for me. But I have to, you know what? Guys, I'm not full of shit. I even kind of went, jeez, I wonder what that's like. Peter going home with fucking candles later. Peter. Wow. All right, everyone. Welcome back. How is everyone? Oh, it is one fucking cold winter in Ireland, guys. Any overseas visitors, don't get me wrong, I know it's like the listeners over here in New York and the West Coast, I know you guys can get some fucking cold winters, but I don't think it's been this cold in Ireland for a long fucking time. I mean, it gets into your bones, guys, doesn't it? Holy Jesus fuck, where is this coming from? I don't get it. Anyway, why don't we get on with this, shall we? Instead of me bitching and moaning like a little bitch. Yeah. So guys, wacky dating stories, part 2. Now, yesterday, guys, I mean, we were talking about, I went on for like almost an hour about this stuff, and I had to call it a day. And some of the stories, guys, that have come in from social media in November 23 have been fucking unreal. I mean, just people losing their fucking minds. It's still, you know, there's still a lot of people very upset at the moment. And I know I'm like a fucking broken record, but you know what? Since Corona, people are now, and I get it too, we've all had some slumps here and pissed off, anger, depression, sad, hurtness, highs, lows, whatever you goddamn call it, in Corona, and now we're just trying to, I think, get back to it. I mean, we didn't go on a holiday, let's be honest here, did we, after coronavirus? No. We didn't come out of a holiday nice and relaxed. It was the complete opposite. We came from complete misery shit into back into the world again. So it's understandable people need to adjust, and the good news is, I think we're in a scenario where people are finding their mojo again. I really, really, truly do. However, I do notice that people are still having their moments. And they're dark moments. And then when people are having good moments, they're fucking bright as the sun moments. They're brilliant. It's very extreme, I find it at the moment. And that's what I'm seeing here, guys, from the wacky dating stories. So, you know, check out part 1 if you're interested, because, wow. And we're not through yet, baby. Because here we go. Now, just bear with me, guys. I've got my list here, should I say. And, like, you should see some of this shit, guys. So there was a guy, even part 2. There was a guy here bragging to a girl. They met on Tinder, and obviously they matched. They're chatting away, and that's all cool. And this guy comes out of nowhere, and he starts bragging to the girl that for the last 2 weeks he's got 3 different phone numbers each and every night for the last 2 weeks. Okay, even when I just said that out loud, I'm not sure it just made sense. Apologies, guys. So, in other words, for the last 14 days and 14 nights, he's met 3 different girls, like 3 brand new girls on night 1. Night 2, another 3 brand new girls, and so up to the 14 days and nights. So, how many is that again? Heavy math now, Peter. What's that? 3 by 14 is 3 4s 12, 3 1s 3, 42. So, so he's bragging, first of all, that he's met 42 women in 2 weeks. If I've got my math right, guys. Sorry, no. Isn't it? I have to write this shit down. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I'm a fucking moron here. So, in 14 days, 3 girls. Yeah, 3 4s 12, 3 1s 3 4. Yeah, sorry. 42 women in 2 weeks. He's got 42 phone numbers. Is that fucking so? Well, ladies, let me tell you out there. I know a lot of men. I know a lot of player men. I know a lot of very quiet, shy men. Just like a woman would know the women. And you know something? This guy's full of shit. Like, really full of shit. And by the way, I'm going to have Dan back on the podcast as a guest soon, and we're going to talk about this in detail as well, and I'm going to get his opinion to see what he thinks. But there's no way, ladies, and I'll tell you here's the reasons why the guy would not get 3 different phone numbers with 42 women in 2 weeks. Number 1 on the list. Where the fuck does he get his time to chat up 42 women? Okay. So let's say, now again, I don't have this information, but let's break this down. If this was Tinder or Bumble, he'd have to be boosting his profile. In other words, spending money. A hell of a lot. Right? And I mean, to get 3 phone numbers, you'd probably have to talk to... This is a wild guess now, ladies, but you'd probably have to talk to about 20 to 30 women. No, sorry, I'm going to rephrase that. You'd probably have to match with 20 to 30 women on a dating app for a guy then to get to 3 phone numbers. Do you see what I mean? Like, we've all been on Tinders or Bumbles, right? Where you match with somebody and then they're giving you one-word goddamn fucking answers. And, oh, by the way, we're going to talk about that in a minute too. One-word answers, and then you're like, why did you match with me? Like, what's wrong with you? Seriously. What the fuck is wrong with this person? Why are you even bothering contacting me back? Like, clearly, if somebody doesn't message you... See, Jesus Christ, I'm going into my fucking rant. I said I was going to talk about it in a second. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm back to the point. Fuck, I can be a lunatic sometimes. So, like, you get the one-word answer, people. Men are women. Right? There's a lot of that going around. Then you get the scammers. Then obviously they reveal themselves very fast. Okay? Then you get the girls that will have, are men, that will have all the intention in the world of going on a date with you, but actually when push comes to shove, they just couldn't be fucking asked. Now, I'm speaking from personal experience. If this is your first time ever hearing or listening to one of my podcasts, guys, I am a single man. I've been on Tinder and Bumbles for fucking years. And I've had girlfriends in between that, so I've gone back off them. But it's always the same fucking thing here. And if anything, it's got even way harder since coronavirus. It's full of prostitutes, it's full of scammers, it's full of just assholes looking for attention, it's assholes, you know, all sorts of fucking assholes. So it's got fucking harder. Hasn't got any fucking easier, it's got harder. You know? Now, then again, I hear that some people are saying, well, coming up to Christmas, it's a lot easier, which we are coming up to Christmas, and hey, hopefully I'm wrong on that one, but in general, it's getting way fucking harder. Okay? And so that's number 1. So really, when you factor in all those things, okay, that rules out of, like, let's say the 30 numbers he got, he'd have to be talking to, what did I say, like twice that amount or 3 times the amount. So in that other amount that didn't give him the phone number, if this was ever true, which is not, if this was true, you'd have the one-word answer girls. You'd have the girls that are of every intention, but they don't really give a shit at the end of the day. You'd have the scammers. You'd have the fucking whatever it is, okay? You'd have, you know, men pretending to be women, women pretending to be men, and trolling other people. You have all this going on. So just because my point really here is, if you get 60 matches, let's say, on an app, that doesn't mean you're getting 60 fucking phone numbers. And listen, I don't have to convince you guys on that one. Everybody that's been single and on a dating app, we all know this. We've all been there, right? Where you match with somebody and you're just like, what the hell's going on with this person? Is this person real? Do they really like me? What did I say? Did I say something wrong? Do you know what I mean? We all know this. So that rules that number 1. He'd have to be talking to a hell of a lot of women to get to 42 phone numbers in 2 weeks. Okay? So he'd have to be talking to, what did we say? Like double the amount, that would be 80 women, or even triple the amount, which is more realistic, 120 women. And to get those 120 matches, okay? So I'll just break down. So in other words, to get 42 numbers, he probably would have to get 140 matches to get the 42 numbers. And I think I'm being generous on that one. because that's still 1 in 3 women that you talk to, which... But let's give him the benefit of the doubt in that one, right? So 1 in 3. But to get those 140, the 140 matches, he would have had to spend a lot of fucking money. I mean, guys and girls, I've used Tinder Super Boost, okay? Where it gives you, you know, that quote, 100 more matches. It's a load of bollocks. It really is. And you don't get 100 more matches. Or sorry, not more matches. You get seen 100 times more. Beg your pardon. Right? I think we've all probably been there. You know what I'm talking about. So to get, like, in 100, if you spend that money, and if you're being seen by 100 times the amount of people that you normally would, you probably only are walking away with about 2, maybe 3 matches. So, like, this guy would have had to spend a fucking fortune and spend a hell of a lot of time on an app. So, you know, maybe this is so incredibly obvious that the guy's full of shit. But, like, let's just break this down here, you know? Because, look, at the end of the day, there still is the James Bond type of guy who can clean up on Tinders or Bumbles, right? But not to this degree. No fucking way on earth. No fucking way on earth. And, hey, let's be honest. There's some people out there that are so full of shit, but they've got the gift of the gab, and they can convince anybody of anything. You know? And, by the way, let's move on to number 2 point. Number 2. Has he even met these girls? The amount of time he'd have to invest in fucking getting these numbers. He'd spend the entire fucking day, more than an entire... There wouldn't be enough hours in the day for him to keep up with this. And let's say there was. What about the other girls? Has he gone on dates with them? There's no way you're getting 42 numbers and you're not going to text one of the girls at least. You know? There's no way. And I know men, trust me ladies, this guy would be all over, oh my god, that girl, she was so gorgeous, she was so hot, fuck me, I'm going to ask her out tomorrow morning. And he'd be going on a date as soon as he could, because he's so many options to choose from anyway, he wouldn't need to get any more. Hey, if he even got to 10 matches, he'd still be going, oh fuck dude, I've got enough, fuck this shit, this is too much effort, this is too much work, come here, I think she's unbelievably gorgeous, oh my god, I want to ask her out. He'd be blowing off probably the other 9, and then he'd be concentrating on the 1. And he wouldn't worry about it too much because, hey, I've got 9 other girls I can call. So he's got options here. But he's got 42. Fucking full of shit. And number 3 on the list. And this is, and I even did a social media post on this a few days ago. This is the big one, guys. This is the number 1 reason. I know fucking players because I am one, or I used to be one, should I say, right? I'm a single guy. I like to go out, have fun with ladies. Yes, I do. I'm confessing it all. And a player, I don't fuck women around. Okay, so let me rephrase my words, I suppose, in a way, right? I like to be single right now. I'm choosing to remain single. If I meet the woman of my dreams, fantastic. But right now, I'm happy. I'm happy playing the field. It doesn't mean, like, the player term, what is that exactly? Do you know what I mean? As in, is he bullshitting women? Is he manipulating women? Well, I think that kind of is a given, isn't it? So I wouldn't be calling myself a player. I'm just extremely upfront and honest with women. So what my point is, ladies, when I was younger, I was a real asshole with women. Like a real fucking asshole. And it takes one to know one. And believe me, this guy who's getting 42 numbers in 2 weeks, he's full of it. He ain't getting those amount of numbers. You'd be exhausted, number 1. You don't have the time of day anyway. You're spending a fortune. And back to the real one, it takes one to know one. And here's the big reason. If he was getting this amount of numbers, he wouldn't want to tell you he's getting these amount of numbers. And here's why. Because the guy would be such a player, he doesn't want you onto him and thinking that you're all around the place. In fact, if it would be coming from a bad place, in other words, he's going to want to manipulate you. He's going to want to fool you into thinking he's a nice guy. And then he's going to go off and try and sleep with you and then blow you off or whatever. Like, worst case scenario here, okay? But this is the guy this is what we're talking about here. So, if anything, it's coming from a bad, evil fucking place that the guy would not tell you why. Okay? And number 2, even if he was Mr. Nice, quote, nice guy, but he got 42 numbers, why would he want to tell you? There is no reason in the world you're going to tell someone that you got 42 numbers. Number 1, you sound like you're full of shit. Okay? The other person's going to go, here, like, if I was saying that to a girl, which I would never would, like, even if I was just about to have it spit out of my mouth, I'd be like, whoa, 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 Peter, you do realize she's going to know that you're full of shit by saying this? You do realize that? I'd feel like an absolute pathetic moron if I said that. Even if I got 42 phone numbers in 2 weeks, okay? Let's just go with it for a second, right, guys? This is the man's mentality. Even if I did get 42 numbers in 2 weeks, number 1, I wouldn't tell all the boys. Okay, I wouldn't. You know why? Because they wouldn't believe me, first of all. Even if they did, they'd be pissed off, and in fact, they'd probably be like, fuck you, Peter, I don't want to be around him anymore. Now, that doesn't mean all the married men, but you know what I mean? If anything, alright? If they do believe me. But 99% of them are not going to believe me. They're like, listen to this dickhead. What a pathetic loser. Did you hear what he said? Can you imagine the bitching? Do you hear what this guy said? He got 42 numbers off women in 2 weeks. He's that good. It would be embarrassing, humiliating, feeling pathetic. It ain't happening, ladies. Trust me. If any guy comes out with this bullshit, I'll call him on it instantly. Because you know what? These guys also, he's not just going around telling a girl. He's trying to convince his boys probably too. You know? Because if he's got the consciousness of knowing what he's saying, he wants to tell everybody. Full of it. Don't believe a word, ladies. Don't believe a word. Okay, and I'll put even a benchmark on it. I mean, let's say the guy did have all the time in the world. Alright, he had all the time in the world. He's a multi-millionaire, all the money in the world. He doesn't work. In fact, he's sitting at home bored off his ass right now. He's got nothing better to do. And if he blew money, threw money at Tinder, morning, noon and night for 2 weeks straight. Now he's got to go chat the girls up and all that, right, what we just spoke about. I would say by the 10th match, he'd be overwhelmed, first of all. He'd be like, okay, Jesus, what the fuck do I do here? Oh, God, okay, this is too much. This is too much. I can't keep up here. I can't keep up. He'd be calling it a day after 10. He'd be like, okay, well, I got plenty of chicks here, man. Fuck this. I gotta... And we're not talking about matches here. Okay? You could get 42 matches. Absolutely, no question. It is very possible for somebody to get 42 matches in 2 weeks. But phone numbers, converting them over? You'd be calling it a night, guys, at 10. And you know what? Jesus, I wouldn't say I'd be impressed with a guy or a woman to get to 42 to 10 phone numbers, or to go past even that. But like, Jesus, where do they get their multitasking abilities? That's what I'd be saying. So anyway, pay no attention, ladies, or even a man, even if a woman comes out with this, which a woman wouldn't, but even if a woman did or a man did, it's all bollocks. Okay, now this was definitely, I think, has to be the funniest or one of the funniest. Guy looking for candle wax melted onto his balls during sex. So this poor girl, my heart kind of goes out to this girl. I have to really say, she said that, what was it again? She's been dating him for a few weeks, and they're having unbelievable sex, right, out of this world sex, and she even said that in the email. Then the guy gets a little kinky, baby. Here we go. And he comes out with, he wants to get a couple of candles, get the wax, and drip it onto his balls. Like, I gotta admit, I was kind of like, huh. Even when I heard this story, I was like, oh, that's not for me. But I have to, you know what, guys, I'm not full of shit. I even kind of went, jeez, I wonder what that's like. Peter going home with fucking candles later. Which I didn't, by the way, but I was even thinking, I was like, jeez, maybe this guy's onto fucking something here. Peter going into a restaurant, seeing a romantic candlelight dinner, getting turned on. Oh God, I can't believe I'm saying this in a fucking podcast. I need to filter myself, I really do. Oh, fuck me. But like, we've all had the wax, you know, drip onto our hands sometime in our past. That fucking stings, man. That fucking hurts. Like, isn't that masochism? When somebody's into that, I think it is, isn't it? Anyway, S&M, not the S part. Actually, I forgot what the S part means. Is that sex and masochism or no? Sedating or submissive and masochism, something like that. Anyway, I can't remember. But yeah, so this part is masochism. Like, I gotta admit. Let's look at this from two sides here. From the guy's point of view, the guy's into this. Takes balls to actually admit that. Well, takes balls full of candle wax, I suppose. But okay, all fucking around to the side. I mean... yeah, you gotta admit him. It takes balls to admit that. Holy shit. Hey, honey, I want some candle wax put onto my balls. Well, I mean, look, hey, I've heard of worse shit before. It's not the worst I've heard before. Certainly not. But we're going there on that one, aren't we? And hey, by the way, guys, I wouldn't judge anybody. If anybody listens to me here and you're into this, first of all, I wouldn't judge you. Second of all, I don't give a shit. Whatever you're into, and hey, whatever gets you off, man. Whatever gets you off, that's the way, that's what I fucking say. That's what I say. In fact, if anything, I kind of go, Jesus. Like, I love my sex, don't get me wrong, but holy shit. Am I a fucking prune compared to these people? Should I be fucking rocking the boat a bit more? Should I be getting up and fucking doing this shit? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm thinking. If anything, I'm thinking, I'm fucking almost judging myself on this one. Fuck. Now, the poor girl, she did say, right, that she stopped everything. She did get a bit freaked out. And I suppose, look, would it be something that you get freaked out about? I suppose maybe you could. You know, obviously you have to be in the situation to judge it, of course. I mean, the guy could have been fucking drooling out of his mouth. Please get the candle and fucking drip it onto me. Put me on fire. Like, you know, like, you never know how he could have come out with it. You never fucking know. Ever. So it's hard to know. You know, he could have had this just lustful fucking look, intense look in his eyes. God only knows. So certainly wouldn't be judging the girl. And, you know... I can see why she got freaked out. Now, what happens then? Do you call it a day? Like, she even asked me to ask the audience, which I did, and people haven't given their not many comments yet. It's funny enough, and she's wondering what to do. Some people have said, "Oh, fuck it, hey, whatever you're into." People obviously are not going to say what they're into. I get that, of course. Jesus, but the answers have been a little bit light-hearted, I suppose. Which kind of makes you think, you know, are people into this? Or maybe I'm totally wrong, reading way too far into it. But, okay, so she's not sure. I hope the social media post helped her. And, you know, she knows that she can trust me. I'm certainly never going to reveal her name, of course. Ever. Never would do that. That's not my thing. You work by a moral code, man, on this ethics. And... you know, what does she do now? You see, I think that it shouldn't matter. Now, let me finish, guys. Give me a bit of rope here in this one. What I mean in terms of, if she's not into the candle wax, if she's not into the candle wax, and she doesn't want to pour it on herself or him, well, you fucking simply say it straight out. And this is for any of the listeners, by the way. If you ever have this kind of problem, you're wondering what to do. I would have the conversation. Listen, John, Peter, Mary, Nuala, whoever, Stephanie. Listen, I'm not into this. Okay? Now, if they're just like drooling from their fucking mouth, foam gathering in their mouth and they can't live without it, well then it's actually a good thing that you found out, isn't it? I know it can be very heartbreaking, disappointing, of course. But at least you're finding out sooner than later. And you know what, guys? I wouldn't worry about if this thing comes up eventually. This, like, if somebody's really into this, like it's a lust, like, that it makes them out of control, they're not going to be able to hide it for long. I'd say give yourself a week, 2 weeks, and they'll be coming out with this shit. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I don't think you'll have long to wait to find out what the person's into. They're gonna reveal themselves very fucking quick. Very quick. So, it's gonna come up. And if the person is too weak and vulnerable and they want to go off and cheat on someone with you, well, you know what? They're not gonna... Okay, let's go back half a step here. I wouldn't worry that, oh my god, if I don't do it now, maybe Peter won't stay with me. He'll go off and be with someone else, or he'll dump me, or he'll cheat on me. I would never worry about that, guys. You know why? Because people use a reason to cheat in numerous trillions of reasons. It's just a reason to cheat. And that means the person's not into you. Of course it hurts, it upsets people, of course, and it's heartbreaking. But what I'm saying is, that's not the isolated incident. In other words, if the person's really into you and it's not a big thing to them and you outweigh their fetish more than the fetish itself, well, they're gonna park it because you still have great sex anyway. Or maybe you'll find out another way to get it on or something or whatever, right? But you'll find another way. So my whole point here is, you'll sacrifice the one small fucking fetish for the big thing, which is you want to be with that girl, you want to be with that fucking guy. Simple as that. That's how you're gonna do it. If you really want to be with somebody, you will sacrifice this or that. And it's not even about sacrificing, you're just not doing the thing because the other person's not into it. That's it. Now, let's turn it around. Maybe this girl is actually into this type of thing and she hasn't really sort of accepted because, I don't know, maybe her parents have shamed her, or she knows people that people would think she's pathetic if she was into something like this. Maybe she's grown up around this type of thing and actually she really wants to do it. Who gives a fuck? Just don't tell people that you want to do this type of thing. You know, I'm a big believer in this shit, man. You want to do whatever in the fucking bed? Go fucking do it, guys and girls. Absolutely. Who gives a shit? Don't let anybody judge you. Don't let anybody take you down. You want candle wax poured onto your balls and sex? Go fucking do it. Simple as fucking that. Off you go. You know what I mean? So, anyway, guys. So you know what? Yeah, I could have actually covered these in the last two. Well, mind you, again, I've actually talked for a half an hour on those two, so maybe it was good that I covered this in 2 parts. So, guys, before we go here today, I want to just cover as well. Now, on Facebook, the fucking bane of my existence. These motherfucking pricks. It is the most horrific fucking social media fucking account ever. I've been disabled from my account. I had multiple dating groups set up, guys, on these. And guess what? They're gone. They're fucking gone. Yep. Absolutely gone. My account was disabled because somebody tried to hack in. Can't get back into my account. Can't get back into the dating groups. But anyway, guys, what I've done is I've created new groups, and actually I've learned from my mistakes. So this is why I'm really fucking excited about these ones. I've learned from the pitfalls of the other ones. I had dating groups based on age group, which are still good, by the way. Like, they still work very effectively. But these are just sharpened. In other words, the problem with the age group ones is that you don't know where somebody's from. Now, I used to tell people try and use the hashtag, you'll find out where they're from, but sure, of course, no. People don't fucking listen. They like to complain, though, but they won't sit there and listen for 2 minutes and get the fucking information. Anyway. So it was harder to monitor and track where everybody's coming from. Now, this time I've done around where I'm basing it on location. So I've created now, guys, 5 Facebook groups: Old School Dating Cork, Ireland; Old School Dating Galway, Ireland, old school dating Belfast, Ireland, old school dating Limerick, Ireland, and old school dating Dublin, Ireland. Now, they're the first 5 groups. Now, whether you live in London, Tokyo, Kerry, wherever it is, not to fear. With demand, we will get into opening up more cities. We're just using these 5 to start off with. And here where it gets even better. And these are where we learned from our mistakes the last time. Or not mistakes, but to make it easier for people to find a match. In those new groups, you're now going to, right, okay, I'm in the city or I'm traveling to the city soon. Go into the group. Now there will be chat rooms for the different age groups. Bang. Problem solved. Self-explanatory. Job fucking done. Tick the box. Box ticked. Whatever you want to call it. Okay? So that's a great way of doing it for you guys. So I'm very excited about that. And I honestly think it's going to dramatically increase your chances of meeting somebody for a match. Whether it's just a hookup or it's meet somebody for an actual relationship. It's definitely going to help. No two ways about it. Because you're filtering through. So check them out, guys. They're on Facebook now. If you're going to be in the queue, you might be in the queue for a little while. We're getting a bunch of people together. No sense of putting in 1 or 2 people at one time. And I just realized that from the other day, and I let in 1 or 2. I'm like, oh, fuck. But anyway, I made a small little boo-boo. We're going to get you into a group first. Get you into the group. Bang, job done. And just give it a little bit of time to grow, lads. And hopefully you'll meet. And by the way, you might be thinking, well, have these groups worked already? In the age groups ones, even though they're very flawed with the, the filter on it, they work tremendously well. In fact, within 11 months, we had a woman say yes. Yep. Over 30 success stories already that I know of. Now, I'm blocked from the fucking things now, so I can't get in. But the great thing is, somebody said yes. He proposed. She said yes. And it was great to hear. Great to hear. So I'm so fucking happy, guys. So fucking delighted to hear this. And hopefully I'll lift my cup of tea here. Here's to many, many more, guys. And hopefully, God willing, you do meet somebody of your dreams. Or if you're looking for the hookup, hopefully you have plenty of fun. So, guys, thanks for listening. Talk to you later. Bye. Peter Walsh.